What's happening? Thanks for joining us. Game day at Levi's Stadium is getting ready for the 49ers and the Chiefs. John Lund, Super Bowl champion Dennis Brown, Adam Copeland, and how about this?
How about it?
Super Bowl champion Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is joining us in studio as we get ready for the Chiefs and the Niners. What's happening, man? Good to see you. You look
I'm
great.
having a good time.
Hey, you look good.
I appreciate that.
Man, be honest, man. Not every guy that walks in, they all don't look good.
What about me? I mean,
you look great, man.
I can still do
He
it.
can't say good with you. He has to use great.
There you go. I mean, I can still get one snap. I mean, I can get one snap in.
I told John, you give me 20 snaps to cover 3, I got you. Just don't ask me to tackle nobody.
Tell you.
20 snaps.
All right.
Well, it's good to have you back. It's always good to have alumni's back.
I appreciate it.
And you considered alumni.
Yeah.
I know, Seattle was where, you won your Super Bowl and you did what you did. But it's always good to have
should have won one here, but that's a story for.
And we're still talking about that.
Right.
One of the losses here against this team. So just talk real. I mean, we've been talking all morning, all week about the fact that Kansas City is a juggernaut, right? And especially for the 49ers with Patrick Mahomes and kind of what they have done to the 49ers. Just talk about, now I played back in the time when we battled Dallas. Dallas beat us 2 years in a row for the NFC Championship. We finally beat them in 94. Does this game mean anything? And I mean, for us, it meant something a lot to us to finally beat Dallas. But it is week 7, or was it week 6? Is this game something that these guys are probably focused on? Like, we got to get the taste out of our mouth?
No question. I mean, it means more now because of the record, the way things have gone, the 2 losses that were just really uncharacteristic to the Rams and to the Cardinals. So this game means more because of how Kansas City's season is going and how the Niners season is going. They need this game to say, hey, this is the best team the league has to offer. We can beat them. We still are who we think we are, and we just had some stumbles along the way. We had some hurdles, some unnecessary things, but we are still on track. And a win here kind of proves that to them.
Yeah, and like when you were with the Seahawks were the team everybody was trying to beat, right? So everyone brought that A game. And back when I played here, everyone brought their A game. Now, Kansas City's not playing the football that we're used to, but they're still undefeated. So, I mean,
concerning.
Everybody's like, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, they're undefeated. Right. So everyone has to bring that A game to this game. And I think that's what the 49ers need to focus on, is that it's not the record. It's not you lost the Super Bowl. This is the best team. This is a measuring stick for you moving forward. You at 3-3. You're trying to get over 500 and get some distance in this division. So, I mean, I kind of answered my own question there, but that's what you got to focus on, right? I mean, that this is the best team in the NFL.
No question, no question. And you're still one of the best teams in the NFL. I got the chance to talk to Christian McCaffrey right before we walked in here, and you're not going to have him for this game, but you'll have him at some point during the season. So that'll be a huge boost. But if you're able to get this win without him, that gives a whole different kind of confidence to this team. Obviously, Juwan Jennings is going to be out. Ricky Purcell's first game back. First action period. I mean,
yeah.
And so we get to see what he's going to be. But I think it'll be a huge game for Brock Purdy to just, again, establish himself as one of the best. He's going against one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, the best quarterback in the National Football League. Yeah. Let's not even sugarcoat that. It's a gap between him and everybody else. But it gives Brock a chance to showcase his talents. I don't know why this game isn't in prime time, but that's a story for a different day.
Right. And you talked about Brock Purdy. I mean, just tell me what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy? I mean, I'm about him now. I mean, this kid is proof. He's checked every box.
Yeah, I mean, it just if you don't believe now, then you just don't believe. You don't want to believe. Right. You don't want to trust the stats. You don't want to trust the eye test because he passed every test. Whether it's you want to do it by wins, he wins ball games. If you want to do it by talent, he showcased talent. They said, hey, it's the yak. The guys are getting yak. Now, for some reason, I think the guys are not getting a lot of yak this year, and he's just pushing the ball down the field, getting yardage that way. And he's just he's doing it in every way. And I think, again, your draft status sometimes kind of pigeonholes you into a box, and they never want to let you out of that box, and you deal with that all the time. It took me 3 All-Pros before they really gave me the respect I felt like I deserved. And it was like, oh, yeah, now I guess he is pretty good. It's like, well, I mean, what do you think they were handing out All-Pros, And that's the frustrating part, is because if you talked about it in the lens of him being Trey Lance or just that draft position, they would already be comparing him and Patrick Mahomes, saying they're two best in the league because he's drafted number 3. But since he's drafted Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, it takes him so much longer to come around because they're more waiting for him to fail. Everybody's just waiting for Cinderella to lose the glass off her foot. And like, this story is going to end soon. Like one day he's going to wake up and he's not going to be good. And we're going to be like, I told you so.
Yeah.
And it's been 3 years now.
Yeah. And that's what we do in the media
Yeah.
now. We're just waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, I knew it. I knew he got lucky. He got lucky, but he's been playing well. Go
Very
ahead.
cool to have Richard Sherman. He's the honorary captain today for the Chiefs and the 49ers. He's back in the house here at Levi's Stadium as we get you ready for the 49ers and the Chiefs this afternoon. So take us back. I know this isn't fun, but you know this. I mean, one of the reasons why we're making it a big game is because the 49ers haven't beat the Chiefs since 2014. You guys had a shot in 54, had a shot last year in 58. Is there some psychological thing in which, beyond needing to win the game to go to 4-3, that they need to beat Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and the Chiefs?
No question. They got to show they got to prove to themselves they can get it done. You know, I think no matter what you say publicly, you're going to say the right things publicly because that's the world we live in. If you don't, then it's going to be freaking plastered everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think they have to say the right things, but it does mean so much more to them. It doesn't really mean as much to the Chiefs, if I'm being honest. You know, they're 5-0. If they're 5-1 at this point, it's still, you know, they haven't been playing great football and they've still been winning games. So if they lose this game to a really talented San Francisco team, they're not going to sit there and go home and be like, man, our season's lost. But on the other hand, if San Francisco loses, if the Niners lose this game, it's going to be a really tough pill to swallow, you know, because of the other losses. Not because the team isn't good. It's just a very tough loss on top of the other losses, you know, because this is the one you could lose. Before the season, if you said, hey, we lost this game, you'd be like, oh, okay.
It's
but
the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
Right.
Of course, that's going to be a toss-up
Like
game.
you said, you blew your mulligans. You shouldn't have lost to the Rams. You shouldn't have lost to the Cardinals. They came back on you.
You're right. And you lost those games, and those teams aren't talented enough. And you watch them in every other game. You're like, how? Wait, what?
Yeah.
They picked their best game to play against the 49ers, of course.
Right. And that's it. I mean, that's a mentality the Niners have to have. That sense of urgency, right? I mean, this is it. This is Kansas City Chiefs, 2-time Super Bowl champion, back-to-back. You got to go out and you got to beat them. You got to get it done. You're at home. You haven't played well at home here, so you got to get it.
And I know the fans are sitting there like, please just don't be up 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't be up 10. Look, I'd rather 14 or 7.
Oh, and
just
when you say
13.
that, it sends, you know, everyone's like, oh
man,
not up by 10. And you weren't here last week. It was like over 100 degrees here last week. So,
it was
the fans
ridiculous.
were dying last week. So.
Do you feel that on defense? And you know you've played a bunch of great ones. Brady's going to be here today. I mean, those kind of guys, it's you know, a touchdown or less, and here's 15 coming out on the field. What does become your mentality?
Well, I mean, great defense is you feel confident, you feel good, but I mean, he's a different breed. You know, I don't think a great defense ever cares really.
Right.
And great players want to be in those moments, but this kid is just showing a propensity to get it done and to maneuver his way out of very difficult, insane situations. You look up and you see, hey, there's 20 seconds left on the clock. He's down 3. You're like, he's going to win, isn't he? He's going to win this one, isn't he?
Shoot, he's going to win.
He's going to win.
Did we give him the ball back?
Right.
No,
He's like, they're like, he's at his own 1 yard line with 17 seconds. Wait a minute. He's going to win this one, isn't he?
Man, how's Prime going? You guys are crushing me. You're doing a great job.
It's a lot of fun, man. We have a really great crew. Carissa's fantastic. Whit, Tony, Fitz, Taylor. We have a lot of fun. We get to cover some good games. They're giving us good games this year, a lot more divisional games. It's a lot of traveling, though.
Is it?
Oh, my God. We went to, because I'm in Seattle, so went to Miami first week, New York back-to-back, and then Atlanta. Those are my first 3. And then they gave me a home game and say, hey, you can relax for a second.
That's awesome. You had a lot of fun. It's really cool, and they're letting you do what you do, and I love the Marshawn stuff. What do you think? I mean, we saw Seattle, San Francisco, but you're around there, and you're around that team. You know it. What do you think? Is it just Seattle, San Francisco? Could Seattle even compete at this point? How do you see the West now?
They can compete. They got to get healthy, and they have to be really healthy. Their right tackle situation, I think they set Stone Forsythe this week. But he just was, you know, Nick, that was was that
14 pressures?
14 pressures. I think the most Nick has ever had in one game. And they just had a really bad right tackle, and they needed a just competent play at right tackle. Gino was out there working miracles behind this offensive line at times. And so I think once they got that solidified, they get Abe Lucas back. K9 gets healthy, I think they'll have a solid run at the playoffs.
Man, it's good to have you back in the house, man. You're looking great.
What else?
Appreciate
What
that.
else?
Yeah.
You got the Amazon going. What else you got going in Seattle? I'm sure.
Well, I got my podcast. Cam Chancellor and I opened a restaurant called Legion.
Nice.
Then I'm coaching youth sports. That's what pushing youth sports. The next generation. and all that.
The next generation.
Busy man.
I love it.
You're the best. Hey, congrats, and we love seeing you. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you guys for having me.
That is the great Richard Sherman. You see him on Thursday nights. He is the honorary captain today, so he's going to be out there. Brady's going to be in the house. It's going to be a fun reunion. We'll come back. We'll talk more about it next, only here on the Sports Leader.